If you receive mail or packages at your home address, there is something you need to understand right now. If it has not happened to you yet, it still could, and being unprepared when it does is exactly what makes it dangerous. According to the Better Business Bureau's National Scam Tracker, hundreds of people across the country have reported receiving the same category of unexpected envelope or package in recent weeks. Items nobody ordered, deliveries nobody requested, and in many cases, envelopes containing nothing at all. Here is what makes this more serious than it appears on the surface. Even an empty envelope arriving at your door is a signal that your personal information may already be in circulation. That is not a minor inconvenience. That is a warning that requires a specific and immediate response. Retirement Watch USA covers the financial threats and scams that affect seniors directly, the ones that start small and quietly grow into something much more damaging. Subscribe now so you receive this kind of information before it becomes a problem, not after. Let us break down exactly what is happening, why it is happening, and what to do about it. Most households today receive packages on a regular basis. An unexpected delivery does not automatically raise suspicion. That familiarity is precisely what makes this approach effective for the people running it. Something arrives that was never ordered. In many cases, the envelope is entirely empty. In others, it contains something small and inexpensive: a hair clip, a phone accessory, a random household item of minimal value. The item itself is irrelevant. The item is not the point. This is referred to as a brushing scam. Here is the mechanism behind it. When a package is delivered to a real person at a real address, that delivery can be recorded within online retail platforms, such as Amazon, Walmart, and eBay, as a completed transaction. The recipient, without any knowledge or consent, may now appear in the platform system as what is called a verified buyer. The party who sent the package, typically an overseas third-party seller, can then use that verified buyer status to post fabricated positive reviews under the recipient's name. Those reviews are not real. The transaction was not real. But the reviews function as though they are, driving up a product's visibility, its star rating, and ultimately its sales volume on the platform. This is the same scheme that generated widespread reports in 2020 when people across the country received unsolicited packages of seeds in the mail. The mechanics are identical. The product being promoted is different. The Better Business Bureau's National Scam Tracker has documented hundreds of reports of this activity within a span of roughly 3 weeks, with packages traced to addresses that do not appear to correspond to any verified sender. Now here's the dimension that makes this genuinely serious, and it goes well beyond fake reviews. The immediate question is not what arrived in the envelope. The immediate question is how the sender obtained the name and address to begin with, and what else they may have obtained at the same time. Your name and your home address reaching a third party is not, by itself, a catastrophe. That information appears in public records, directories, and people search databases that are broadly accessible. But the presence of that information in a scammer's possession often indicates one of several more concerning possibilities. The first is a data breach. Retailers, banks, insurance companies, healthcare providers, and digital platforms are compromised on a consistent basis. When those breaches occur, customer data, shipping addresses, email addresses, account credentials, and in some cases, payment information, US, can enter underground markets where it is purchased and distributed. There is limited ability to prevent this from the consumer side, but it is important to recognize when it may have occurred. The second source is online purchasing behavior. Orders placed through unfamiliar websites, third-party sellers on major platforms, or discount offers promoted through social media can result in shipping information being shared or sold to parties outside the original transaction. Many consumers have no awareness this occurred. The third source is public record exposure. Home addresses are not confidential in the way that financial account details are. Public property records, voter registration data, business filings, and aggregator websites compile this information and make it available with minimal restriction. The fourth source is credential reuse. If the same password has been used across multiple accounts and one of those accounts was involved in a breach, the same credentials may be tested against other platforms, banking portals, email accounts, retail logins, in an automated process. A single compromised password on a minor account can serve as an entry point into accounts that carry far greater consequence. The empty envelope is not the end of the story. It is frequently the beginning of one. Brushing scams often represent an early stage of a larger scheme, a confirmation that an address is active, a name is real, and the information is current. That confirmation can lead to escalating activity. Small unauthorized charges that are easy to overlook, new accounts opened in your name, unfamiliar inquiries on your credit report, collection notices for debts you never incurred. The progression typically begins small, which is by design. A charge of 13 cents or $13 is easy to dismiss. By the time the pattern becomes visible, the damage is often already distributed across multiple accounts and requires significant effort to resolve. Here is what to do if this happens to you. Number 1, do not scan any QR codes that arrive with the package. Scammers embed QR codes that redirect to fraudulent websites designed to harvest login credentials, prompt you to verify your delivery, or offer a prize in exchange for personal information. Regardless of what the accompanying text says, do not scan it. Number 2, Do not call any phone numbers printed on the package or the label. An unfamiliar phone number on an unsolicited package is not a customer service line. It is another potential entry point into the scheme. Do not call it and do not visit any website listed on the packaging. Number 3, review all of your online shopping accounts. Start with Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Target, and any other platform where you have a registered account. Examine your order history for transactions you did not initiate. Look at the reviews section of your account for any reviews posted under your name that you did not write. Review saved payment methods and saved addresses to confirm nothing has been altered. If anything appears unfamiliar, change the account password immediately. Number 4, secure your email account. Your primary email address functions as the master credential for most of your other digital accounts. If someone gains access to your email, they can initiate password resets across every account associated with that address, retail accounts, financial accounts, insurance portals. Change the password on your email account first, then update the passwords on accounts linked to it. Do not reuse the same password across multiple platforms. Number 5, activate two-factor authentication on every account that offers it. This adds a verification step, typically a code sent to your phone, that must be completed before access is granted, even when the correct password is entered. It is a measurable inconvenience. It is also one of the most effective available barriers against unauthorized account access. Enable it for email, banking, credit cards, and shopping accounts. Number 6, set up transaction alerts on all bank accounts and credit cards. Configure notifications for individual purchases, online transactions, large transfers, card not present transactions, and any outbound money movement. The faster unauthorized activity is identified, the more options exist to contain it. Do not rely on monthly statement review as your primary detection method. Number 7, obtain and review your full credit reports. The 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, are each required to provide a free report annually through annualcreditreport.com. Review each report for accounts you did not open, inquiries you did not authorize, addresses you do not recognize, and collections for debts that do not belong to you. The credit score number alone is insufficient. The full report contains the detail that reveals whether something is wrong. Number 8, consider placing a credit freeze with each of the 3 major bureaus. A credit freeze restricts the ability of lenders to access your credit file, which makes it significantly more difficult for someone to open new credit accounts in your name. The freeze can be lifted temporarily when you need to apply for something yourself. There is no fee to place or lift a credit freeze. If you're not in the process of applying for credit, a freeze is one of the most straightforward protective measures available. Number 9, report the package. If the delivery appears connected to a specific marketplace or retail platform, contact that platform and report it. Request that they investigate any reviews posted under your name or account that you did not author, and ask that those reviews be removed. Documenting the report and retaining any reference or case numbers establishes a record if the issue develops further. Number 10, preserve the evidence before discarding anything. Photograph the envelope, the label, the tracking number, and anything inside. Record the date of arrival. If this escalates into a more serious situation involving fraud or identity theft, documentation of the original package will be relevant. Do not post images of the shipping label online with your address visible. Here is what not to do. Do not ignore it. The most common response to an unexplained empty envelope is to discard it and move on. That response leaves the underlying exposure unaddressed. Do not scan QR codes. Do not call unfamiliar numbers. Do not provide personal information to anyone contacting you in connection with the package. Do not assume that because nothing of value arrived, nothing of consequence has occurred. If you accept delivery of an unsolicited package without taking any action, the sender receives confirmation that the address is active and the information is accurate. That confirmation can increase the frequency of future contact and expand the scope of how your information is used. If the situation progresses and you identify actual fraud, unauthorized charges, new accounts opened in your name, unfamiliar items on your credit report, the response requires moving quickly. Contact the institution where the fraud occurred directly and inform them the account or transaction is not yours. Contact your bank if payment information was involved. Place a fraud alert or credit freeze on your credit files with all 3 bureaus. File an identity theft report through the Federal Trade Commission at IdentityTheft.gov. Dispute any items on your credit reports that do not belong to you. Keep records of every phone call, email, and case number associated with the resolution process. The underlying principle across all of this is worth stating plainly. Scammers rarely pursue the most damaging action on the first contact. The first move is frequently a test, confirming that an address is real, that a name is attached to it, and that the information is current and usable. Once that confirmation exists, it can be applied to a series of subsequent actions. The unsolicited package is not the scheme in its entirety, it is the opening move. Here's the action sequence in summary. Document the package with photographs and the date received. Check all shopping accounts for unauthorized orders or reviews. Secure the email account and change any passwords that may be reused across multiple platforms. Enable two-factor authentication across email, banking, and retail accounts. Set banking alerts for all transaction types. Pull and review full credit reports from all 3 bureaus. Freeze credit if no applications are pending. Report the package to the relevant marketplace. Preserve all documentation. And continue monitoring for any signs of follow-on activity. Like this video and subscribe to Retirement Watch USA so you receive this category of consumer protection and financial security information on an ongoing basis. Share this with anyone in your life, particularly seniors who receive regular mail and packages, who may not be aware of what an unexpected envelope actually signals. One conversation now may prevent a much more complicated situation later.